Hi, Jay here. Thought I'd do a quick video on some of the updates and upgrades available for the Replicator 2 and Replicator 2X. If you've seen my other videos, you know I own several. I have a Replicator 2X at work, and here at home I have a Replicator 2 and a Replicator 2X. And I think if you watched, you've seen that my Replicator 2 is pretty much upgraded. It's got most of the upgrades to it. But I thought I'd go over a few, and you could see what's out there. One of the biggest upgrades people do to either one are these aluminum arms made by Bottleworks. I'll put the link to his website for purchasing in the description. What these do is they replace the plastic arms that are inside your Replicator 2 and 2X. They provide greater stability and greater heat resistance. Now, if you're not going to be, doing nylon or anything like that, you probably aren't looking for the heat resistance. But because of these being heavier, and also because it uses a linear bearing, you get a little bit smoother. You don't get as much striping as you go down the Z-axis because it doesn't bounce as much. These are nice and heavy and they go up and down real good. And it comes with all the parts you need and instructions on how to do it. And I've already done my Replicator 2X at work and my Replicator 2 here, and now I'm going to upgrade my Replicator 2X with these. One of the other upgrades that's some of the older Replicator 2 and 2Xs need this, the newer ones don't, they come with it. And that's your extruder upgrade. Now, what this does is it goes, attaches to your filament drive, and it provides a positive grip for the filament wheel. When the Replicators first came out, they had this Delrin stub with a spring on it. It didn't work real good. So this is an upgrade. It makes the filament, the head grip it better to put it through. This is an aluminum version of this made by Dehydric up in Canada. I tried it. It actually did not work for me because I use I use all the way down to the bottom of the rolls, and as the roll gets smaller, the filament tends to get a roll in it as it comes off because the spool's getting smaller, so it's got a bigger groove. And as it comes through the head and it feeds down to the heater block, it's fine when it's nice and straight. But since it's curled, it tends to want to come through and miss the heater block. So it wasn't a good upgrade for me, so I went back to the standard feed, and these are the upgrades to the standard feed. Something else that's common to both in different versions, and that's Carl's aluminum carriage. He makes it both in a single and a double. This one's a double, and he makes it in several colors. This is the red. They have white and black. I think he has blue too. Again, like the aluminum arms, it provides a more stable platform. Instead of a plastic that can tweak and move, this thing's nice and heavy and it stays on the carriage. Now, this is the part that goes back and forth this way. Okay, this is the carriage. There's also upgrades available from Carl on these heater bar brackets in your melt chamber. This replaces the standard 2X hot end. Now, it also comes with new nozzles, and I'm a big believer that the Mark 8 nozzles don't tend to clog more than the Mark 7, even though they're supposedly an upgrade. So I've replaced the Mark 8s with Mark 7s. This comes with the Mark 7s also. You can do a detailed search. The biggest thing is the Mark 8 had a reconfigured melt chamber, supposedly to help it as it came through. I had hard clogs all the time, and I had to keep taking the nozzle off and cleaning it out and taking the nozzle off. Since I switched to the Mark 7s, I have yet to take a nozzle off and clean it. Just the usual, taking a 1.5mm hex key and forcing the goop out of it, which I've covered in other videos. One of the other upgrades between the Replicator 2 and 2Xs, these thermocouples. Now, here is what Makerbot sends. Now, it looks like it's a nice heavy-duty cable, but these things don't, for some reason, they don't last as long. These are actually lighter but more flexible. A guy on the Google groups called Jet Guy told me about these, and they're like $1.50. These are like 16, and these are like $1.50. So I'm going to try that as an upgrade also. And here are those nozzles I told you about, the Mark 7. You can get like 5 of these for $30. So, whereas if you get a Mark 8 from MBI, they're like $21 for one. But so that's a good upgrade. Let's see, what other upgrades? Oh yeah, I haven't taken out the package yet, but this is also offered by Carl, and it's called an X end. And what it does, this goes on the ends of your XY carriage. Uh-oh, something fell. See, this goes on the sides like this. So this moves this way, and this carriage moves this way. So this goes this way. And again, it's just an aluminum upgrade that allows better, easier movement because it's heavier, and it makes the printer print nicer. And if you look at some of the upgrade printers, you know, the expensive real ones, they're all aluminum inside too. So this is just an upgrade for that. And there's some more of the heater blocks and stuff from Carl. So now, then we sort of get in. Okay, well, I got one more thing that's not specific. Okay, on one of the few features that is still badly designed on the Replicator is the X cable. Now the X cable runs on the right hand side of your machine. You're looking at it. Now what it does, found that little screw. It runs on the right hand side of your machine as you're looking at it. It's like over here. And all it is the command cable that tells the X head what to do. And so it goes down the side, turns around, comes back, and goes to the X head. And as it comes back, it's got a little roll pin that holds it in place. Well, the problem being that roll pin tends to chafe on it. It's not a good design that way. And also the cable they originally used, it's not designed to bend. It's not a, what do they call it, infinitely flexible cable. Once it starts bending, it'll start cracking. So a lot of people just take the roll pin out and drop the cables, and instead of the cables going back and then up like this, they just drop it to the floor and go up. Now what you can do, go to, oh, I just drew a blank, Harbor Freight, and you can get this cable cover. It's just corrugated cable. This is like $6, and it doesn't take but about that much. So, group buy. But you can put that on there and cover up your cables so they don't get munked up. Now some people have gone to the expense of putting, you know, these super high expensive flexible cables in there, but I found just, you know, 40 cents worth of this works just fine. Now we start getting into sort of specific upgrades. On the Replicator 2, it comes with a nice acrylic build tray. Well, they don't last long, they start warping. Well, this is a phenolic one, so you can see it's machined on the back to make the correct thickness. And it's nice and hard. These things stay flat. I mean, they don't get hot and warp on you. So these things are great. They sell them on eBay. They have different versions of this. Luckily, I work in a machine shop, and I have phenolic, so I made my own. But I have several of these that I use because they're super flat and super stable. And if you notice, I got the blue tape on here. You're going to hear blue tape, hairspray, glass, aluminum, kryptonite. Believe it or not, I have had great success with just regular, everyday blue tape. Not the one on a roll. I buy these off Amazon. I like them first of all because they come in a nice envelope. They're not rolled up like the Capton, so it makes me pain in the butt to put on. They're nice and flat. They're also, the sheets are the exact same size as the build tray, with just enough overlap on the ends to wrap it around so it gets a nice secure fit. Okay? And if you, I mean, this thing right here is like a month old. I've got like 2 little rips in it. But if you stagger your parts around, you can get around that too. Something like that I printed flat, you can get 20 of these before it starts munking the tape. I'm a big believer in blue tape. It's always been good for me, and it sticks like crap. Sticks like crap. Anyway, the parts stick on there really good. Let's see. Now, as far as the Capton, I thought I had another piece here. I didn't. You know, this is the stuff they give you from Makerbot. See how paper thin that is? If you go to McMaster Car, and this is all over the boards, but if you go to McMaster Car, they sell like a .005 thick one, which is like 10 times as thick. And I've got it on here, and I've got it on my one at work, and it's like cardstock. And literally, once it's on there, you don't have to replace it. I mean, I've had this one on here for 9 months, and there's not even a single scar on it. The one at work I put on there a couple months ago, and it's still fine. And that also is posted on the Google Groups Makerbot Operators board. So that's one of the, I thought I had another piece, I guess I did. I was going to show you that. And you can buy Capton on a roll. I bought some of this, it's even thicker than this, but it's still paper tape, rippable. Let's see. That's really all the stuff that's, you know, you can do all kinds of mods. There's all kinds of home mods and stuff you can do, but that's some of the stuff you can buy. Pricing. Aluminum arms about $125. The carriages I think are $75. The heater bars are like 25 and then 15 for each of these. The Spark Fun thermocouples are like $2 for each, real cheap. The Carriage, I think these were $100. I'm not sure. I forgot. I was one of the first ones to get them. I think I still have the prototype ones. I didn't put them on yet. The extruder upgrades run anywhere from $20 for a single to $40 for a double to Dehedric gets like $100 for $80 for his aluminum one. So it works out real good. This is just some of the stuff that's out there. Hopefully this helps you out. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a subscribe. You know, I always say this, I don't care if you do or not. This is for people that care. Just don't give me a thumbs down if you don't like it. Just go somewhere else. This is Jay. Have a good night, Franny.